little brief video about the small group roles. So a small group is 3 to 12 people who meet to accomplish a common goal. The only reason we would meet in a small group is because groups get better, more creative solutions than working by yourself. So when you think about 3 to 12 people, I'm going to talk about 5 essential roles. If you do the math, you realize that there's going to have to be some double coverage. And I'm going to show you one of these roles that needs everyone in the group's participation. So, of course, there are leaders, the person who assigns the duties, and the buck stops with this person is the task leader. Generally, in my experience, this person is the one who cares most about his or her grade. And they're not going to let their group ruin their GPA. So these are the people that if you assign something and say, hey, I need all the information by 11 o'clock tomorrow night, and at 11:15 only one group member has done it, this person often does it him or herself, which is not the goal of a group project, but is often what happens when we divide and conquer tasks. So this person is most concerned with task completion, but we also acknowledge there's another type of leader that's a relational leader. And this person is, I hate to be gender specific, but this is kind of the mom of the group, and it has nothing to do with being fulfilled by a woman, but it is someone who cares about the well-being of the group. So this person doesn't just care that they get the task done, but at the end of the group experience, this person would really like for you to still be friends. So they may take care of having snacks, meeting at times that work for everybody's schedule, and they realize that you have a life outside of the group. This is the role that we need a lot of coverage on. In fact, I think any leader should be willing to do the work him or herself too, so not ask the group to do tasks that they're not willing to do themselves. So this is something that everyone needs to be proficient in, and this person might just have good research skills, but they might also have good technical skills. They might have good people skills. They might be people who know people who could introduce you and connect you to those who might be able to help you with this group mission. The central negative is probably the least popular member of the group and probably the most necessary. So there's a phenomenon called groupthink. And groupthink, while it sounds like, hey, that's positive, everybody's on the same page, is really considered a negative group phenomenon because it's a tendency to rush to judgment. In fact, I have a slide on it. I'll go ahead and go to that and then come back. A tendency to rush to judgment and go in dangerous but quick directions. So really, this is a group of yes people. People who aren't going to challenge the group mission, who aren't going to cause you to rethink things. And central negatives do the opposite. They are people who say, I'm not so sure about this. It is essentially the reason I had to get off the PTO because no one likes the central negative. And what I found is that we had a group of people who wanted to keep fundraising when in reality we weren't able to spend the money that we'd already raised. And I took issue with that. I didn't think that I wanted to knock on my neighbors' doors and ask for more money. So I would challenge some of these decisions to fundraise more. And that wasn't really what the group wanted, but I do think it's what the group needed. So if we go back, that's the central negative. If this person does not naturally appear in your group, he or she needs to be assigned so that we know that you are getting the best product, the most critically thought out product, especially important in step 4 of the group process. And while this one might seem optional, if you've ever been in a group that didn't like each other, that was going to explode or implode, you realize the need for a tension releaser. This person, the most important part of this definition is that appropriate humor at needed intervals. This is not someone who circumvents the group process, who's always cutting up so you never get anything done. But this person is sensitive to the fact that groups might blow up, and so they may need to take a break. They may need to put things in perspective that, hey, this is just a group project, and so let's breathe. So remember that all 5 of these group roles are considered essential for the optimal performance of a group. If these tasks are not being met, they need to be assigned. Thanks.